Hey guys, James here, and we are at our next time. One that I wasn't fully expecting. Next time is Killua from Hunter x Hunter. I'm gonna piss off every Hunter x Hunter fan by calling it Hunter x Hunter on purpose. And then also Misaka from a certain magical index. Now, this is probably a surprise for everyone. And looking back, this is kind of obvious it was happening. Surprisingly, it was very well hinted at. For those who don't know, in the trailer for season 10 that had the whole Cipher, there was a bunch of stock footage. A lot of people didn't really think much of it. Mostly just wrote it off as kind of red herrings. I also had that idea, but apparently they were actually hinting at stuff this season, but in very subtle ways, because it showed skateboarding and electricity. Killua skateboards, both have electricity, so that's clever. I wonder what the chest and the rubbing forehead, that thing, I wonder what those will be. But yeah, this matchup's happening. I was kind of thinking there was a possibility for us to get a Killua matchup this year, only it wasn't exactly this. If we go on to the I'll get to that later. Killua versus Misaka. I don't care. I say that too often, and I hate that factoid. But I don't really care for this matchup. I'm one of the few people that still prefer Akame for Killua from Akame Got Kill. I still prefer that matchup. I would have probably preferred if we got that. But this is a fine matchup. I have no real strong feelings towards it. But there's a good amount of people I see that are excited for it. And you know what? Good for them. A lot of people haven't even heard of a certain magical index. I've heard of it. I don't really know anything about it. There's also a certain scientific railgun. I think that's the name of it. There's a few. This franchise goes under a couple names. This is our first light novel character in Misaka, so that's surprising. It's also our first Hunter x Hunter character, which is also surprising it took this long. There was speculation of a Hunter x Hunter matchup this year in Gambit versus Hisoka, and thank God it is not that. Imagine the first Hunter x Hunter matchup being Clown Fucko. I don't want that to be the first character to introduce Hunter x Hunter to us. The fucking clown pedo. I can live without that ever happening. I think this is a good way to introduce both franchises. I know, like last year, a lot of people I think might have been looking back at last year and really saying that these two franchises got cucked to happen earlier. Because Accelerator versus Magneto, that was a matchup a lot of people wanted, and then Tetsuo happened, and then Deku versus Gon is a matchup a lot of people wanted, and then Deku versus Asta happened. So they're in now. That's what matters. It's not with those specific characters, but they're in now. And I'm not the most well-versed in these franchises. I do like Hunter x Hunter from what I've seen of it. I'm not really that far in it. I don't think I'm ever going to complete it just because it's a long series. But I'm glad it's in. I do like it. And then Scientific Railgun, I did watch the first 2 episodes after it was announced. But I've talked this long about connections. What are the connections? They are both technically, it says anime, but really they're not, because light novel, but electric anime teens who I think are both actually 14. Mostly peak in what they do, who have grown out of their traumatic experiences, helped by the protagonist, and one of their character arcs involves a strong bond in protecting their younger, their siblings. They both also regularly use regular items as weapons, and a yo-yo and a coin. Not really that strong of connections. I don't know if there's more. This is kind of all I got for it. It's all I've really seen that aren't really stretched out. So, and already some of these are kind of stretchy. But that aside, I think it is fine. Not the greatest. I really don't feel anything to this matchup connection-wise. But, what's something that could happen in it? I feel like the setup for it could just... We start with Killua, just... Like, the fight could take place in, like, a national park. It's been a bit since I checked out Hunter x Hunter, but to my knowledge, it's kind of a bit of a mix of modern and fantasy, in a way, in its world. While, certain magical index, pretty modern, at least, well, I wouldn't say by 2010 standards, it's a bit more advanced than that. But so it's kind of like that. So I feel like this could take place in like a regular park, sort of like Might Might in a way, where it takes place in a park in a city. I feel like that'd be a good way to start it. Like, just open up with Killua just sticking around with this yo-yo, and there's like a big boom of electricity in the back. He goes to check it out, and then we get to see like a bunch of people just fucking knocked out from Misaka, a bunch of like level zeros. I'm not well versed in the terminology of certain magical index, so also Hunter x Hunter, feel free to correct me on any of this shit for anyone who knows more about this than me. But like Killua kind of goes there, sees what the hell happens. Misaka mistakes Killua for being part of that gang that she just wiped out, so then fight starts there. You know, have Killua start with his yo-yos, or maybe do the Thunder Palm. What the hell is it called? It has like a specific name, I believe. Or maybe it's just that. You know, yeah, I'm just gonna go with that. Like, or like Misaka tries to use her coin railgun. Killua dodges, and then we get like a slow-mo scene of him dodging it, and does the Thunder Palm strike. And he gets a good hit on Misaka, launches her back quite a bit, but like the electricity doesn't seem to have any effect to it in the animation. It's kind of like she tries to stick long distance, but Killua tries to get up close. Misaka does her railgun attacks, fire electricity. Killua does try to get up close with try to use his claws, do the Thunder Punch thing. Eventually, she fires another railgun coin thing, while Killua does the Thunderbolt. Creates a big blast, big explosion. Excuse me. Killua takes a chance to try to hide himself to get a sneak attack on, but Misaka's, what the hell is it? Her electromagnetic waves alerts her. Kind of works like a spidey sense in a way to her blind spots, but it alerts her of Killua trying to attack, so she's able to quickly dodge, or actually use her flashbang to temporarily blind Killua and gets a good old coinless fun railgun, which is more like a punch. Just sends Killua flying away. Killua gets back and guns it towards Misaka, but does the, what is it called? I have a list, a whole script idea here with the names of some of this shit. Is Rhythm Echo, right, where it kind of looks like he has a bunch of after image clones. He's able to quickly get the advantage over Misaka, kind of mess her up a bit before getting a good hit. Misaka basically does, what the fuck does Iron Sand, I think it's called, where she I think it's taking the ground underneath her and making a whip or a sword out of it, and then continue the fight there. Killua is able to get up close, and he starts using the Godspeed, I think it's called. Start doing Godspeed shit, starts to overwhelm Misaka, start pushing her back. So then Misaka decides to just go full fucking kaiju, which is a thing she can fucking do apparently, with the Iron Sand. Just make a whole giant kaiju build. Kaiju bigger than a skyscraper. Tower over Killua. And so Killua tries to run up the building to get up close to the kaiju. The giant magnetic kaiju fucking thing does its own railgun. Killua was quickly able to jump off the building in time to as that building just gets fucking wiped from existence, basically. As Killua tries to get up close to rip out Misaka's heart, he is able to knock her out of it, and it's where like the death kind of matters on the verdict. If Killua wins, he is able to knock Misaka out of the thing. I don't know if this is something that could happen. I'm just speculating, but I'm kind of making a lot of this up as I go. But knocks her out of it, and Misaka tries to fire another coin railgun, but Killua is able to act quick enough to rip out her heart, instantly killing her. And then if Misaka wins, Killua tries to get up close. We maybe get a slow-mo close-up scene. This could maybe be done before the big kaiju thing. I really want just a hand fucking. Why can I not? Hand drawn. I was thinking handmade. Hand-drawn animation of Killua trying to rip out her heart. It's in like slow motion, close up, but she's able to react in time, stop it. And right before he can get that hit to rip her heart out, she does the railgun thing and blasts a coin right through his head, instantly killing him. Either death, I would love for it to be like a silhouette death, just because I feel like it would look cool. Not because like it's too violent, I just think it would look cool. And then death, that's death. This is very poorly put together, I'm sorry. It doesn't help I'm not knowledgeable with these two that well versus wise or far in. But verdict. What's the verdict? It's a Hunter x Hunter matchup. You can take a guess. Killua fucking dies. From what I've heard, this is Killua's closest matchup, which not a high bar to pass. Like his other matchups I consistently see is Akame and Black Star. Akame would scale to S-Def, which I believe they put her at like continent or country. It's been a bit. I haven't really been a bit since I've seen that episode. And then Black Star would be island. Be without Fire Force stuff. He would scale to the Fire Force shit, which is like Star. So the bar of being a close Killua matchup ain't high. But this is really the closest one you're gonna get. You can, from what I could tell, you could argue relative AP, but it involves highballing Killua and lowballing Misaka. The best I've really seen for Killua that's generally accepted is, hell is it? It's a large town feat from downscaling to Yuppie? I hope I'm saying that right. Basically downscaling from a feat he did. I don't really know what the feat itself is. But basically downscaling from that, which is large town. But then Misaka, she has a statement, I believe it is, where she could have wiped out the entirety of, what the hell is the name of the place? Academy City. Like, there's a statement in the light novel or something where she could have just wiped out the entire city. And there's also I'm pretty sure there's also a feat with the big kaiju thingy that got pretty high. I know there is also like a form Misaka has. I think it's called like level 6. There's like 3 forms to it. But from what I think they've gotten Mountain before, but from what I heard, it's not really standard and she needs outside help for it. Correct me if I'm wrong for the level 6 shit. I don't even understand what I'm saying. But, so she would basically just AP stomp mostly. Well, not stomp, but she does have a good advantage in AP. I think I've also heard town for her, or not town, city, small city or something. But then speed is, like, even if you do argue relative AP, speed's pretty cut and dry. Like, Killua can move as fast as lightning, from what I could tell. And there is a light speed argument, but it's really shaky. The light speed argument is based, from what I've been told, somebody throwing a dart, and it was stated that for Killua to, because Killua catches it right before it hits his head, it's basically, somebody states that Killua had to be moving at light speed to do it. But it's a real like over-exaggeration kind of thing. And I think Killua himself even kind of disproves that right away. So the light speed dart is really shaky. But even if you do that, fucking Misaka, I believe she does actually have a feat where some other character like fires a bunch of beams of light at her, but Mikasa reacts fast enough to basically block it with electricity. I think it was after, like, they were fired. Like, she did that after they were fired. So, about, like, light speed reaction, faster than light speed reaction. There might be some other stuff. I believe there is. I've heard there's a statement that her electricity is light speed on faster than light on its own. So, she's just faster. Which then kind of just, she would just blitz, even if you argue relative AP, which is kind of not the best argument overall. And she just has much better hacks. She can basically, well, not basically, she is immune to other electric attacks, because otherwise she would be shocking herself. I think there is a scene in the anime where she does get hit by another character's electricity, and she is unaffected by it. So Killua's own electric moves would be redundant in this. And like I mentioned earlier, she does kind of have a spidey sense in a way, with her electro wavelength, whatever. Magnetic wave, I forgot the name of it. Where she's basically alerted for any attack in her blind spot. So Killua getting the jump, pretty unlikely. Electromagnetic waves, that's it. And along with her Iron Stand manipulation, she has much better control of the field over Killua. So, I think it's safe to say Misaka's gonna fucking win this. There's not really much of an argument you can make for Killua. At best, relative AP, which is already a bit iffy. But I will be rooting Killua. So, my bet's on Misaka, I am rooting Killua. Just because, compared to what I've seen with Hunter x Hunter and a certain magical index, I like Killua more. But I'm glad these franchises are finally in the show. It has, like, Hunter x Hunter is long overdue. I'm surprised it took this long to get on the damn show. And it's nice seeing a more niche franchise in certain magical index getting on the show. That is real nice to see. And it's gotten me to at least watch 2 episodes. I might watch more. I don't know. But I'm glad it's on the show now. It gives me hope that if this episode does well, we can get off in the future and get Saiyans versus the Judge and versus the Batter. I would love that. Please, God, let this episode do well so we can lead to that scenario. And now the big thing that a lot of people were apparently asking, to the point where DJ had to basically tell people to stop on Twitter. What is that? Where does this matchup fall into the Cipher? Because I think it's already easy to figure out what the quote. It does fit one of the quotes, the X amount to keep it silent. For the same logic as the Hisoka matchup, where Hunter x Hunter, Killua is an assassin basically, so Xing them out, and the X in Hunter x Hunter is silent. I'm gonna spite so many Hunter x Hunter fans by calling it Hunter x Hunter. So that it falls into that, though it doesn't really fall into the shuffle. It more so falls into the pentagram, surprisingly. The reasoning is because the logo or the symbol on Killua's yo-yos is a pentagram. It's also a Star of David in the manga, but anime it's a pentagram. I don't know why this change was made, but whatever. And then the logo for the magic in certain magical index is a pentagram. So yeah, this is our pentagram matchup, which It does mean that Gambit versus Hisoka isn't happening this year. I'm kind of glad for that. I really would not have enjoyed the first Hunter x Hunter rep being the fucking clown. I really would not have enjoyed that. I'm glad it's Killua. I think Killua was a much better option. But this also means that we are not getting Spawn versus Ghost Rider nor Demi-Fiend. We're not getting Hellboy versus fucking Nero. We're not getting John Constantine versus Rido. I think I'm saying that right. We're not getting those matchups this year. Real shame. I think I would have been excited for any of those over this. But maybe another year. Who knows? So it does kind of leave the question what might be the shuffle. Because I was thinking that was going to be Gambit versus Hisoka because it surprisingly had good arguments for it, and I'm glad it's not that. Maybe that might be Serial Mascot Royale. I don't know. Might be that. Could also be Kira versus Adachi because, shuffle cards. Persona 4, from what I've heard, has a big thing with tarot cards, and Sans and JoJo were originally named after tarot cards, so you could maybe logic that, and then the suit could be Gojo versus Makima or something. I don't know. I just want Kira versus Adachi to happen this year. But anyways, this seems to be our pentagram matchup, which a bit lame considering what could have been, but whatever. I hope this episode's good. I hope it does well, and I hope the people who've been wanting this matchup are happy with it. Maybe Killua could come in again in the future and fight Akame. That could be fun. I would like that. And I'm glad these franchises are in. I don't really got much else to say for this, so hope the episode's good. Peace.